Hello, everybody. We're going to start a new session of Lobby Talks. This time it's just me, Valen, and we have.
Me, Marcus.
Yep. Top here.
Yep.
So we're just going to talk about, since Grim didn't show up, we're just going to talk between ourselves and kind of like a nostalgia bomb about our times with the Nintendo Gamecube.
Yeah. What a great console. I mean, it's a lunchbox.
It is a lunchbox. It's like it's a cute little box, and I liked it.
People
and little
hated.
known facts.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you go first. People hated what?
People hated like the weird plastic colors of it, but I think that's just like, I don't know. It made it that much more endearing.
Well, yeah. I mean, where else could you get a console in orange and indigo and silver? And you know what I mean?
I mean, silver and black. That PlayStation 2 had that.
Fair, but it was like a metallic shiny ass. So I don't know. It was different.
Yeah, it was. It was like a novelty, like getting a freaking McDonald's toy.
And all your friends had different color GameCubes. It was like, what the hell?
See that was cool too, because like if your friends brought their controllers, I mean there wasn't any confusion to whose was whose.
That's true. So, little known facts. Marcus and I, it was like our first real console after the Sega Genesis.
I love telling that to people, is that like I jumped so like far ahead. It was like Sega Genesis, and most people had like the N64 or the PS1,
or even the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but we just jumped straight from Genesis to GameCube, and
yeah, we just skipped a generation or two.
The Game Boy was a hell of a placeholder, is all I'm gonna say.
honestly, but yeah, I mean the GameCube is great, and you know what I liked about it a lot? I really like the Game Boy player on it.
The Game Boy player with the disc that everybody loses.
Yeah,
now like $50. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was so cool.
Oddly, you know what I liked was the Game Boy Advance adapter that plugged into the controller slot. Because I do have fond memories of Wind Waker doing the tingle stuff,
the tingle bombs,
and the Four Swords Adventure mainly.
Oh, the Four Swords was fun.
So fun.
Man, we had some good times.
See,
like we'd bring Chris over and we'd all just play.
Yeah, we had like, I mean, do kids even have sleepovers nowadays, or is it like? I don't know. I'm old, but I remember all the like having friends stay the night and doing stupid like tournaments and time splitters, or
oh my god, I know,
just anything. Raising Chows in Sonic Adventure 2, and being like, I'm gonna name this one Chris and throw it at a wall. And then people would get offended. I mean, naturally. But
you're like, why are you picking on my guy?
Yeah, it's Sonic. Who cares?
Honestly, it's
a lot of people, but I mean the Chow part definitely, but always like, I don't know, just, and people still do this, but setting up like Super Smash Melee fights.
Yeah,
and just having a grand old time. I remember seeing the GameCube for like the first time when our cousin brought it over, and I was like, I love this.
I know, I loved everything about it. I mean, let's think about it. Like, what all started on the GameCube for? Like, for me, I started Resident Evil on the GameCube. I picked up 4 just like every other person, you know what I mean? And I was like, holy crap, this is ridiculously awesome.
And then you had the remake.
Yeah, oh, the remake. And this Crimson Head scared the shit out of me the first time I saw him.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, just a good idea for an enemy design.
I know. Like, I killed a dude. I thought he was done. and then I just hear a fucking random screech down the hall, and this fucking angry Flash dude just comes at me.
He's
I'm like, what
upon
the
you. Yeah.
fuck? Yeah,
Well,
it
I mean,
scared the
like,
hell out of me.
it doesn't tell you anything. It's, I mean, you can use a lighter and some gasoline, but you're like, I'll probably need this later. Why
Right,
why
and
would
then
I think to light this dead guy on fire when in the story I don't even know that they're zombies yet at first?
honestly, and the cool thing was like, even then, it didn't give you enough to get rid of all of them, right? So you had to
So
be really careful. It's like, oh, I'm probably gonna go through this area a lot to probably make sure this one's clear at least.
oh my
It,
gosh,
it was it was cool.
I didn't know that, honestly. I thought that if you're just smart about it, you could like go and get enough by just
Mm-mm.
exploring to do. That's amazing.
Yeah, you really had to manage the resources and really think about it.
That's really smart. I bet that pissed a lot of people off who weren't very smart about it then.
I wasn't very smart about it first, and all
Yeah.
the busy areas, like I was like, fuck. You
Yeah.
know. And talking about remake, they also made Lisa Trevor was introduced in that one, I think.
She, really?
Yeah, and man, that chick was
Do you think
terrifying.
did they mention her in the first one, honestly?
No,
Oh. That's a
she was just
great
like a new
addition.
concept, and just
That's
and that was
amazing.
a hell of a remake. That was like the best remake ever.
See, the GameCube was like the starting point for me for really getting into RPGs because I mean, prior to that, it was just like Pokemon, which like that's just RPG easy mode technically.
Honestly,
But
what was
Tales of
it? Tales
Symphonia,
of Symphonia. Yep.
oh my gosh, that was my first like multi-disc game, which I mean, it's two and the size of the GameCube discs were like tiny. But no, that game I remember just being like when our cousin brought over the GameCube the first time and played it, I was like, "What is this?"
Well, yeah,
And
we went from like little 2D games where nothing really was happening to all of a sudden like, holy crap.
yeah, you can't go from what is it? A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game in Vector Man, and then switch to something with a well-built story and not be like awestruck.
Right?
And
I
I
was
mean,
like, holy shit.
all these other people had like that transitionary period with the SNES and N64 and PS1 to kind of ease into long form storytelling in games. Uh, we didn't. We're just like, oh my god,
It was a culture shock. It was great though. It was
yeah,
great that you remember Soul Calibur 2?
I do. People
Sure.
apparently very disliked Necrid
That's what
as
I
a design,
heard.
and I was actually shocked. I was like, I just want him back. I'd play Necrid,
Right?
and
No,
it's weird.
I played Nightmare back then.
No, I mean there
The
wasn't
hell?
Siegfried,
There wasn't, but
but you had the option to play Link. Like what the heck?
I
And you
did play Link.
didn't. But that wasn't like your main
It
boy.
was not my main. It was definitely
That's
Nightmare, which going on forward, like I would never choose Nightmare. Siegfried's that's my boy, you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, it's funny because like Necrid story wise was like what he was a victim and fully tainted by the Soul Edge, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So in subsequent Soul Calibers, you'd play Siegfried because you liked Siegfried, the Siegfried part of Nightmare, and I went for Nightmare going forward, who was just the bad parts of Soul Edge.
Right?
It's funny how it just kind of switched,
Yeah, we just flopped completely. But you know what? It worked. It all works.
and it only happened because of the absence of Necrid going forward. But what else? That see, like, there's obviously the games that we did have or did
Yeah.
play, but honestly, there were so many that we didn't that still kind of make the memory for me, like Pikmin.
Hickman.
It's just the like general aesthetic and vibe of it. Chibi Robo. I remember that coming out and wanting it so bad, never got it, and then I realized, oh, I wouldn't have liked playing this game anyhow, just because of my own preferences. But it still had that same toy box vibe, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I mean, they took Legend of Zelda from like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and then also added that toy box feel by making Wind Waker.
Man, Wind Waker was so good too.
It really was. I mean, as much as people will have or will say that like the HD version is superior, because like that is a large opinion that people have, but I mean they changed some things for good or for the good aspect, but part of what made I wonder if part of what makes it so good is the fact that when it came out you were a child in
Maybe.
most cases.
Nah. That
Because like
can't be. Like even now, like playing it, just like the gameplay's fun. Actually, I didn't mind sailing around either. I
yeah.
kind of dug it. It was,
Well, I mean, like the changes they made were entirely optional for a lot of the gameplay things, right?
yeah,
But then they did stuff that people would say is the right choice, but I mean, kind of is, kind of isn't. I don't know if it fundamentally changes the experience. Was the Triforce charts? They
see, none of that
changed.
bugged me. But I know on the new one they updated it. Like,
They made it so much less, and it's like, man, what made the Triforce chart stuff cool was that it helped you want to explore the rest of
yeah,
the
you got to
map
see so much of the world.
that you wouldn't have if it was just like one thing or cut in half even. Like yeah, there was a lot of repeating stuff, but then you're going to go to this island that looks like an island you were just at but somewhat different, and you'll see something off in the distance and be like, I want that.
Like, excuse me, what? Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, and
And then that's
people
part of the fun of just Zelda in general. You know?
yeah, people would argue that Wind Waker is super linear, but it wasn't if you were in that mindset of when it came out as a kid. You were
Yeah.
like, wow, there could be anything out here. And isn't that like the idea behind the first Legend of Zelda? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the story was linear, but the adventure? Go
It
have
was
fun.
basically there. Like I remember like filling out the map, like the entire map, charting every single area. Like that was, and you get to learn some pretty cool areas. Like there
Yeah,
was a one island that is like nothing but fucking. It's just like they're blocks, and you're like, why the hell is this here? What is this? What does this serve? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That game was so cool.
It was, and there was like the random mini games where you know those bird people.
Oh yeah, where you could like fly using the Korok
Yeah,
leaf.
yeah, and then you had to like try to go as far as he could, and like, come on, come on.
It's just fun, and that's what the GameCube was
Honestly,
fun. Even like even in the most serious of games, it was still fun. Like I think Time Splitters, but specifically Time Splitters 2,
yeah,
it was super serious, but it was really fun. And then Time
right,
Splitters Future Perfect was like, hey, let's double down on the fun.
right. It went silly. It was so, and you know what? That was our first M-rated game too.
Oh my god. Yeah. I remember we were like in I think it was Colorado, and we had to really prompt mom to be like,
Right. Oh
let's
my
get
god.
this. And it was you and your friend. I don't want to name drop him, but uh you guys got that, and I got a game that I still kind of love.
What did you
for the
get?
Game Boy Advance. I got a game called Gunstar Superheroes.
Huh. See, I don't
Yeah.
remember that. I just
No,
remember Time Splitters.
I complained because you guys got what you wanted and I wanted a thing,
Oh, jeez.
typical youngest sibling BS, but like I didn't know I would like that. You guys were like, yeah, M-rated, yeah. And little did we know it'd be like the funnest M-rated game that it was just silly and goofy, except for the horror part in the story. But
Which was unusually scary. Like,
yeah,
even as a kid, I was like, what the fuck? This is
even
unsettling as
even
shit.
people who watch like horror movies will be like, haha, video game horror segment that can't be that scary. And then we'll look at you after and be like, it had no business being that scary.
It really didn't. And it was so goofy. That's a bitch of it.
Yeah.
Oh, the first part was like in the actual like house mansion thing. Like it was legitimately creepy.
Yeah, and then freaking Cortez pops out and he's like, ghost goggles, ghost gun. And you're like, are you fucking serious? I love this game.
Right?
But
I oh yeah, the big
there's
deer too.
yeah, fucking
God,
scary.
it was just fun.
Bust through a wall and it's like, yes, everything in my mind was telling me that was gonna happen. But I didn't want to believe it.
All right, I held hope.
Yeah. No, the GameCube was just fun. Um, oh, jeez, I didn't even think about it. Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness. People still want remakes of those, and I don't blame
Really,
them. But like,
I didn't think they were that popular.
they, it's like a bad movie almost.
Is it like a cult following in fucking Pokemon or what?
Yeah, yeah, it is. See, there was what I remember not liking about Coliseum was as a youngin, I never liked the Battle Tower. I still kind of don't, but that's pretty much a big part of Coliseum because it was a Pokemon Coliseum type game.
Yeah,
Where in the N64 it was just that, but now they added a story. But like half of the story was the freaking Battle Tower-esque segments where you're borrowing Pokemon and you don't know what they do, and that bugged me. And honestly, I thought XD Gale of Darkness would have been better because it didn't have that, but I don't remember it.
I don't remember XZ very well at all. I remember the first one,
Yeah, I mean,
Coliseum. And Coliseum was fun.
you
I never
start off
actually
with
beat the tower though.
like what, a level 30 or two level 30s because everything's double
Something like
battles.
that.
But like the opening scene is you on a fucking motorcycle, and I mean, I how frustrating is it in Pokemon games that it takes like half the freaking game to get just a bicycle, and you're just like, yeah, no, I got like a super bike.
Tonally, it was so much different than any other Pokemon too.
I mean, you played as a bad dude. He gets reformed, but he's
You're all
still a bad
stealing
dude.
people's Pokemon, and
Yeah, at first it wasn't for
they were
like.
corrupting them and all kinds of. It was like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, when you're stealing Pokemon at first, if I remember correctly, it wasn't to like liberate them from people being crappy. It was to just get more Pokemon, more powerful Pokemon. It's like
Yeah,
that was like because a lot of people who grew up with the show were probably in like middle school or something at that point, and that's just perfect because you know how many people wanted to be like, if I were a Team Rocket member, I'd do it this way. And then they technically got to.
yeah, they honestly did.
Yeah,
And you know what? It was actually kind of fun.
yeah, it
I want to
was.
record that one for V2 plays hardcore. I think it'd be, I think it'd be enjoyable. It'd be not probably the most entertaining thing to watch, but you know what?
I
Neither is
mean,
Kurt. So
to be fair, it's not always the most entertaining to play, but not in a bad sense. It's just like the music blends into the areas, so you're just like sleepy all the time. Or at least I was.
Yeah, I mean, it drags. It does drag a little bit.
Well, I mean, like all the areas have like harmonica music, and it's like, I just want to plop down in a hammock and sleep.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but honestly, it's got, I think, my second favorite song in any Pokemon game ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the Snag'em Hideout. Stupid title, but like, I don't know, it's just good. My favorite song in any Pokemon game was from Gold and Silver, and I think it was in Crystal, but I'm not sure. But it was the national park theme.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's still a good song, but GameCube, like what else?
Man, just custom Robo. Like
Son of, okay, I just remembered another game.
what?
I Ninja.
God, that game was dumb.
That game, I mean, in hindsight now, yeah, it was super dumb because like the lowest of
Super
lowbrow,
juvenile.
yeah, the lowest of lowbrow humor. Prince Odor, yeah, he's smelly, haha.
Yeah,
But that game was fun as hell,
yeah, I know. I
and
remember
like
you playing it.
when the time frame in my life when it came out, it was like perfect. With because like I hate middle schoolers. I'm sorry, but I was in middle school at the time, and it was just like, yeah, don't tell me what to do. I'm my own person. I'm not gonna wear the shirt because someone made fun of me. That's how much of my own person I am. Uh, but it came out at the right time. It was fun. It just, mm,
I know that game was. It was so juvenile, but
yeah,
it was fun.
it really was. What other
Too bad you
games?
can't record that for V2 plays.
I don't know if I would because it's so juvenile. Um,
I
then
would.
some of the missions were just BS, like hard for no reason. Probably because they were later in the game, I know, but whatever. Uh, what
But you're
other?
a better gamer now than you were then.
Yeah. So like, I wish I played this when it came out, but I was a little baby child, and it scared me. But Luigi's Mansion. Playing it more recently for the channel, I was like, oh, like this. I see why people like this. But like, I don't know. I was a wuss. You would play Dead Space in the living room with the lights off at night, and I was like, I'm going to my room. Demons are coming for me. And it's funny how much we changed because now I'd be like, oh yeah.
I know, right? It's like
Like
okay, and
I
what?
was scared in like the most least immersive sense. And now like VR, it's like okay. And
Right? Became all desensitized.
yeah,
But
yeah,
no, Luigi's Mansion was cool. Like I don't know, the game was just fun. Again, very childlike. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I guess that's one criticism because they didn't really have a lot of more mature titles.
Hmm.
But like I still enjoy those games today. Like I'm
Well,
a
I
more
mean,
mature guy.
because like what we're saying is it's like yeah, Nintendo at the time was geared towards more child friendly games. Or, not child friendly, but stuff that you could play or the whole family could enjoy.
Yeah.
But that means that those rated M games were perfect for people who were transitioning into more mature material at the time, i.e., like you. You had your Resident Evil,
Yeah.
and then we got a PS2, and you're like, I I'm ready. But man, that led me into what still kind of defines me as a gamer right now is imagine if you only have one GameCube controller. Who gets to play? The older brother, and that's fair. But that led me into the Nintendo DS.
Oh God, yeah, it did.
Don't say "oh God." I remember, and this is actually one of my favorite GameCube memories, was you were playing with your friends, and one of your friends lent me a game to play on my DS. And I fell in love. And that game was Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow.
Was that Adrian?
Yes, it was. And I still remember that and being that was like, that was my transition into more mature material. And honestly solidified me in handheld gaming. And I mean, that still goes on today where it's like, yeah, I could turn on my PS4 and play something, or I could sit on the couch and play my Switch. So, like, I don't know, the GameCube came out in such this time that it was so important for so many people for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't know. Looking back at all the games that I really enjoyed then,
Mhm.
like trying to play them now, okay, maybe they're a little clunkier. They're not as refined, maybe, as I've more gotten used to.
Yeah.
But they're so easy to get into, and they're just fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to record Custom Robo. I love the hell out of that game. I mean, you got your own little robot dude, and you customize him, custom your Robo,
Yeah.
and you
Well, I
just
mean, like,
fight in an arena. Like that was dope.
again, to the toy box analogy. Like, come on. But the dialogue in Custom Robo, perfect, right?
It
Because he had
was.
just as tense moments and just as ridiculous. There's like, before the final battle, everyone's like, we're going to go defeat this big bad robot, Rahu. Are you going to come with us to save the world? And you can just say no. And if you say no enough times, the game ends. It's like, oh, well, your friends died. Really wish you could be there to help them, but
But you weren't.
no, yeah, you were being a stubborn a-hole. Or like in that world where you're in the final confrontation, Harry needs to go to the fucking bathroom, and you can go with him, or you can stick to your guns and say no, which case everyone's like, wow, Harry's taken a long time, and he comes back and he's like, they attacked me in the bathroom. Where if you went to him, you could help him when they attack him in the bathroom. So it's just such a good game.
It was a good game, and it was kind of like its own little RPG. You know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah.
make decisions, you can do the thing. You got your battles,
Yeah, just stats
and you know
stuff.
what? You already brought it up, but like the voice acting. You know what I mean? Or just like boops, and that's all it is.
Yeah,
Boop boop boop.
like how people love about things like Banjo-Kazooie was that like
Yeah,
how they broached using voice without using voice. And honestly, that's what people still kind of love about Animal Crossing's voice. Is it is but isn't. But like Custom Robo took that to the extreme and it's like, oh, we're not using sounds, we're just using booms. Just at different pitches.
but it worked so well because like at first you're like, whoa, what the hell is this?
Yeah, this lazy
And then
ass.
like you start reading and you get into the game, you're like, damn, he's mad.
Yeah, that's a loud bum.
Yeah, right. You're like, oh geez. Oh,
Yeah.
and then like near the end, like you don't even think about it anymore. You're like, oh shit, you're right. Things are getting real, bud.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get
Well,
so
I
immersed in the game.
I loved how like incompetent the police force was in that game. Like,
They were so bad.
didn't they have guns too? It was something like that. It's like you could
But you're like, hey,
forcefully
use this
detain this
gun?
person when yeah, right?
Or I'll fight you in a simulation. Ah, shit,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, let me fly back and thud on the ground. Like,
In dramatic fashion.
yeah, and you man, something like seeing a chief police officer or essentially like the head of a military group being like, "You can't stop my tiny ape robot." You're like, what?
What?
But in the context of the story, you're like, "Oh God, that must be tough."
You're
It's
like,
like
oh
watching
damn, he's got a mini ape.
yeah, it's like watching a silly Saturday morning RPG or a Saturday morning anime, like freaking Mega Man Battle Network or Beyblade. And you're like, the stakes are so high. They're playing a children's game.
Right? But again, that game was so good. And again,
Yeah,
I want to record it for V2 plays
they
so
had
bad.
one for the DS that I found out about, but like, I just can't bring myself to do it. I
Why
don't want
not?
to ruin the original feelings of Custom Robo by being
Are the
jank.
reviews bad or what?
I'd have to check again, honestly, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
I think it'd
So,
be fun to get just to do it. You know what I mean? Oh.
yeah, I remember the multiplayer in Custom Robo, and you're pretty much like had to collectively agree, like, don't use the worm.
Yeah, don't use the worm. That thing was
It's
ridiculous.
so cheap, and people are like, fine, I'll choose Halberd, and you're like, oh, that's too good. And you're like, fine, I'll switch, and then they move to the illegal robots, and you're like, oh, stop.
Right? The Halberd
Yeah.
is dope looking though. That thing was so
He's
cool.
just a Gundam.
I know.
He's just a
But he was
Gundam.
so cool.
I remember honestly liking the Javelin more because it was unique or more unique looking.
The Milky Way was really cool too though.
Yeah, and that, I mean, if you're talking unique looking, that's not always a good thing because you had the giant head things. And there was just one that had like
Oh,
a
those are
giant
so weird.
seal's face. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
those are
one that
so weird.
looked like a grumpy old man or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is a mass produced thing that they're using not only for entertainment, but like police
For
enforcement.
combat
Yeah.
applications. Yeah.
I want to weaponize this grumpy old man robot. Like what?
Hey, why not?
Yeah, I mean different
Was,
strokes for different folks.
the game was so cool though.
Bloody Roar Primal Fury. Not exclusively a GameCube title, but it was on the GameCube, and honestly the GameCube was good because it had the anime cutscenes and everything.
Get it?
Yeah.
Bloody roar.
Again, going to like it came out in a lot of people's middle school years. Xeon the Unborn.
It was so edgy.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's fine if they just did it once. They did it 3 times in a row, I believe, afterwards.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, there was that Godzilla game that I had.
I don't remember this.
It was Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. And I remember trying to play it once, like, honestly, and being like, this sucks. And then I went on the internet at the time and Googled the cheat codes. And then found ones, and then I had a lot more fun with the game. Because you could just pick up anything and throw it, and it's like, yay! But then after that, it was like, okay, well, now what the hell do I do?
Yeah, now why play the game at this point?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I guess I'll play it through as Orga this time. Cool. Now what? Okay.
God, I forgot about the game. I just Googled it. Yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah.
Do you remember SSX?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I was so bad at that game, but we were so good at we weren't even good. We thought we were good at the like the first map.
Yeah. See, I remember what was SSX3, the one after, and it kind of had the whole open world-esque map, and I played that one too much, honestly.
I just remember Tricky. Tricky is the one that I remember fondly. SSX3, I remember playing it and like I hated it.
Well, I mean, it also had stat growth and it was money involved and all that. I don't know. I had fun with it just because, like, I'd start at the top mountain and just roll my way down while listening to what was it? Shake It Out by the Caesars. Yeah, the radio, and it was just like, yeah, all right.
So dumb.
Yeah, it really
It was fun,
was.
though.
But it passed the time. We had a random stupid ATV game, and I remember like just going into like the obstacle course area for just freestyling, and Godsmack's Bad Religion came on the
Oh
radio.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, awesome.
Hey, I'm so hard. This is
Yeah.
awesome. Well, not like hard. Oh, demonetized.
Middle school. All right. But man, why don't you tell the story about how you beat yourself in soccer?
Oh God. Yeah. What? You went to the bathroom or something? Right?
I was taking a shower.
Right. And then like I didn't want to stop playing FIFA back before it was a demonetized mess and depressing. Like I put your controller on the floor and I played it with my feet to fight against myself, and man, my feet beat the crap out of me. It wasn't even funny. I wasn't even trying. I was just like hitting random buttons, and that shows you how bad I was at the game because like I was so confused.
Does it
Like,
show
man,
you how bad you were at the game or how good your feet were?
my
Because
feet were great.
we played soccer actually as kids.
I know.
So your feet was like, I got this.
I'll have done this a million times. Yeah, no, it wasn't even a competition. I was like, how
That's
the hell
funny.
did this happen?
You were practicing foot-eye coordination.
I guess so. I should have tried playing Resident Evil 5 with my feet. Maybe I would have been better.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
From
Oh my God.
unbeatable to completely unbeatable.
You just put your controller on the ground and you master your Final Fantasy 14 rotation flawlessly. Jeez.
Let's
You're like,
talk about.
how am I hitting the trigger buttons?
I'm just nudging it forward. That's all that matters.
Oh, see, he already had a plan for it.
Yeah, see? You remember when Twilight Princess first came out? It was like right at the end of the GameCube's life cycle.
Yeah, because they advertised it with Link's crossbow training for the Wii as well.
Yep.
I do remember Twilight Princess.
Because we got it on the GameCube, loved it on the Game because I wasn't gonna get Wii initially. Wii was weird,
You couldn't find one anyhow.
honestly. And I was like, man, Twilight. And you know what? Game Informer punked the hell out of me.
Oh,
You
with
remember
the like the upgraded Wind Waker graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like Wind Waker with Twilight Princess. I was like, oh my god, I'm pre-ordering this right now.
You know what's really funny about that? Wind Waker came out on GameCube as well. It's not like it was the longest wait. If they were to update anything, it would have been like what, Ocarina of Time?
Something like that. And that would have made more sense, right? But like I loved that game, Wind Waker. So I was like, that game with these graphics, I was like,
Heck yeah.
it's the best game in the world. I'll never need anything else. And then it was a scam.
It was in their April 1st edition.
It was April Fool's, yeah. And I remember, like, even then, when they going to get Twilight Princess, I asked them about it, and they're like, "Yo, that was a joke. I'm so sorry." I was like,
I wonder how that freaking GameStop employee felt crushing your dreams like that.
It did. I was like,
I'm sure he didn't want to do it
bullshit.
to just be like, haha, fucking dumbass. I'm sure he was like, oh, this poor kid actually thought that was a thing. I'm
So
sorry,
this guy-
dude.
No,
Yeah.
he had the flu. He probably quit that day. He was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
It's too emotional.
Turned to his buddy after you left, and he's like, I don't know how long I can do this, man. and then worked there like 5 more years. Uh,
Oh my god.
what?
Lord of the Rings, that was on the GameCube.
All of those ones except like the weird RPG one.
Yeah, which didn't enjoy. But like, yeah, Return of the King and the Two Towers.
Oof. Yeah.
Oh, Return of the King was so much fun.
Remember that exploit? I don't know if it is an exploit or what that we found with the. It was the fight in Return of the King with the mouth of Sauron. It's like just pick a hobbit, turn invisible, stab him in the back, done.
Done.
It's like that shouldn't have worked or
ever.
something. Like what the fuck?
I'd always make you the Hobbit, didn't I? Because I didn't
Yeah.
actually. I was like, nah, I'm gonna kill everything else while we wait for him.
Yeah. I
That
think you
was-
probably posted as like, oh, I'm not as good as you are, and you're just like, yeah, killing. I get to play the game while he walks around like a fucking moron.
It worked though.
Siblings, they're the best.
And that game, like I just remember leveling up the characters, getting just better and better at them. I was like, this is amazing. I love that game so much.
Getting better and better at all of them except for Gimli. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Emily.
That's really funny.
Fuck again. I want to record that for fucking V2. Man, I want to record all these for V2 plays.
See, as much as I wanted or remembered not liking the like RPG one, I really want to try it again because
Which one?
it was the Lord of the Rings like
Oh, yeah.
it was just an RPG. It had nothing to do with the Lord of the Rings. It was just like optional lore, or was it? I don't remember. But I do remember that like one of the fights was the Watcher in the water, and it's like I don't think that was a boss fight. I think we just went the wrong way because it's like we definitely lore wise wouldn't fight something like that as a first boss. Like what the fuck?
Well, I was just bad at RPGs too. Like I didn't have the patience to.
Yeah,
do
well,
that.
it was just this turn-based RPG, so I really wanted to take another crack at it. But I mean, like, I don't have a GameCube right now. Sad. I could just emulate it, but
You could.
that's
That'd be
wrong,
fun.
people.
Yeah, of
I
course.
love doing that. All right. But yeah, man. If there's any takeaway from this, it's that just enjoy your games. Like
Honestly,
it seems like all the game like makers now are trying to strive for like this mobile game mentality of it. Like do your daily shit. Have fun. Make sure to play this daily. And it's like
that and
Just-
microtransactions. Like
just to have fucking fun with the game. That's what people want.
yeah,
And like I had a conversation with someone about competitive games and how everything is that way, and I think it's because of Twitch and stuff, because people are making money off of it and now everyone wants to be good and making money off of it. But like yeah, I'm sure that existed ever since the NES game competition, but it wasn't so prevalent that it influenced how games were made. And
Yeah.
now it has. And it's like what? Didn't you say Mortal Kombat 11 had like advertisements on the front page? Like when you
Yeah.
start up the game, it's like, hey, look, we're in Evo. It's like
it was like the daily deals and
yeah, it's like
shit.
shut the
It's like,
shut.
oh.
I just want to plug in and uppercut a motherfucker to death, like I
Honestly,
did as a kid.
It was. Oh well.
Yeah, like I don't want to be negative about it, honestly, but because
Well-
the games are the way it is, I can't enjoy games as much as I did. And I don't think it's because I just grew up.
I don't enjoy nearly as many games as I did back then. That's for sure.
But boot up a game that you did, and you're gonna have like the most fun with it. Like I'm pretty sure if I just like got a copy or played Metroid Fusion or Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, I'd play it till the fucking end and be like, yeah, instead of like, oh, I'll just do my dailies and or in the context of stuff like Dark Souls, where it's like, I guess I gotta be better than this person who probably eats shits and breathes this game just to enjoy it. And oh well, that's why I enjoy co-op though.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
It wasn't for GameCube, but I always weirdly associate it with GameCube. Was the Champions of Norhath game? It was like a hack and slash, like you remember Untold Legends for the PSP.
Yeah.
I remember playing one of those at like Dad's.
Yeah.
It was for the PS2, but like I always associate it with GameCube for some reason. I guess it just goes back to that time. We'll have to talk about that at some point, but buy a GameCube, people. Love your
Honestly,
GameCube.
GameCubes they were just great.
Yeah, they were.
I miss gaming was so different back then.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't as mainstream, even though it totally was. Because now, like, you'll talk to someone at, I guess, school and be like, yo, you play games? They're probably going to be like, yeah, somewhat. But back then, you're like, do you play games? And it'd be like, I do you? And then, like, friendships were cultivated around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. And you remember the boot up sequence?
Yeah, with its, like, Easter eggs.
Yeah, you could hold different buttons and do different things.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. There's that, like,
fun things like that.
Honestly, if there was, like, if I had all the money, I would probably buy a Panasonic Q, which was, like, the Japanese only, like, DVD playing GameCube.
Huh.
And I'd get it modded to be region free and just have fun.
Yeah, I love that system. Like,
yeah.
Everything about that system was just fun to me. The memory cards was fun, even though you'd lose them.
Yeah.
Even though you really had no reason to lose them, because every game, the box, had a little spot to save it.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Or you take it to your friend's house and be like, oh, shit.
Yeah, or you'll have like 15 of them, but because you needed a specific memory size, they were all the same color, and you're like, shit, which one? So you had to like start up the GameCube, hold the A, and then just check. Ah, boy.
Yeah, that was so much different back then.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
It was fun, though. Damn, it was fun. And, I really dug the controller. I liked the GameCube controller. Now, playing it now, the GameCube controller feels a little awkward to me. Because I get really so used to the PlayStation one, right?
Yeah, you know what was the funniest thing I did was I have that GameCube-esque controller for my Switch, right?
Yeah.
I played the Dragon's Dogma port with it, and I was like, what the fuck? And the funniest thing, I really wanted to try this again. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate with the GameCube controller. A fucking travesty.
Oh, yeah?
Because the C-stick is what moves the camera, and it's got the weird notches, which just doesn't feel good in Monster Hunter. But the most thing is, like, the A button. You know how it's, like, front and center?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it just sheaths your weapon in Monster Hunter. Yes. B is the dodge button.
The Z button? Z could sheath your weapon or something.
Yeah, I mean, now we could do it because, like, now Switch allows button customization. But B is the dodge button, and it's all tiny enough to the side. And you're just like, I want to press A because my instinct is, that's the important one. But no, it's like, oh, I gotta move slightly off to the side, and then it's right above the C stick, and it'll move your camera because you're freaking out. It was the worst. But I want to do it again. I mean, after the GameCube, there was still the Wii, you know, and we got a PS2 before that, right?
We got a PS3 before the Wii.
Oh yeah, I remember one of my foggiest memories with Monster Hunter, though. Not to turn it into a GameCube X Monster Hunter chat. Was Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii was the weirdest thing.
Oh,
you
yeah?
know? Because, like, the nunchucks. And that was what really made me realize I hate motion controls. Let's go back to GameCube era with the buttons and such. Was I played Lance, I think, because, like, I was like, I can't fucking figure out the control screen anyhow. Might as well just do whatever works best with my limited knowledge. And then I bought a Pro controller and was like, oh yeah, this is where it's at.
So
Buttons. Yeah. And you know what? GameCube's got buttons. All right.
Right. So I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Is there one GameCube game you didn't play that you really wish you did?
That I didn't play that I really wish I did. I don't know about that, honestly. Actually, I mean, if anything, it may have been that, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up, just because you said it was
fun.
If there was a game that I wish I enjoyed more, you know, like, I had it, but I didn't play it when we had it, and I wish I did, because now I can't go back and enjoy it just because, like, it holds up meh, is the Metroid Prime series.
Oh, yeah, see? That would have been a good one.
Because I did beat it on GameCube, but I didn't play it enough to, like, really enjoy it as much as it deserved. And then Metroid Prime 2, I didn't. And it's like, fuck, I should have. What about you?
I'm trying to remember what it's... Was it Eternal Darkness? It may have been Eternal Darkness. It was like some horror game on there. It was just like everyone... It's like a cult classic. Everyone's like, oh my god, this game was beyond amazing. I'm trying to find it now.
I don't think it was Eternal Darkness. Eternal Darkness was like an RPG. Wasn't it like a Fatal Frame?
No. Maybe if I look up horror games.
Yeah, GameCube horror games. Let's check it out.
Let's see.
I guess it was Eternal Darkness. Eternal Darkness was one of them. Huh.
It was something like that, because it was just like Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem.
Oh yeah, that looks like a horror game. I thought this was one of the games. It had like an anime protagonist. It's like, that can't be right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
yeah. That's one I really wish I played.
Eternal Darkness.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I figured out a mystery. Remember when we first got our PS3 and we got Alone in the Dark? And Nana was like, you guys, you really wanted this, I remember. And we're like, yeah. I've never heard of that in my life. Maybe she thought it was that.
Probably.
Oh, God, that's funny. We got to talk about Alone in the Dark one of these days. Oh, my God.
Oh, that game. The game was something else.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah. We just wanted to gush about the GameCube, and have a nostalgic romp.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we did. It was good.
Yeah, it was. Well, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, not really.
I'm
I just I want to play these games now. I want to record them.
right, and I look forward to the next lobby talks. Honestly, I'm enjoying this.
Me too. I wish Ben was here. Wish Grim was here, but maybe next time.
Maybe. Hopefully, we miss them.
Yep. If you guys enjoyed it, like, subscribe, or not. Either way, we're gonna keep doing it.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see y'all later.
Bye bye.